This is the Scholarlynk news for 6 January 2021. The Malaysian Meteorological Department has warned of dangerous weather with continuous heavy rain in several states and parts of Sabah and Sarawak. There is also the potential for flash floods in low-lying areas of the country. In waters off the east coast, people should expect northeast winds of more than 60 km per hour and waves as high as 4.5 meters. Water levels at river stations in several states have exceeded the danger levels when evacuations need to be started. It is expected that the northeast monsoon will last until March. An atmospheric physicist from University Science Malaysia warned that the heavy downpours are a sign of climate change. He added that though the effects of climate change are gradual and the weather cycles will stay the same, there will be changes in severity with heavier rains and more intense droughts. Think about it. Why do some people continue to stay in areas prone to natural disasters? Do you think it's because of lack of financial ability or other reasons? In Jakarta, coronavirus victims who passed away recently have had to share a burial space with a relative who had died a few years before. This is due to the shortage of space and the spike in coronavirus-related deaths. Those sharing the same grave have to be blood-related. The family of the deceased must give permission, and the graves must be around 3 years old. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, this practice only happened when family members such as husbands and wives wanted to. The double burial policy has given a glimpse into the state of the outbreak in the capital city, where there have been calls to reimpose large-scale social restrictions due to a surge in cases, deaths, and hospitalizations. At least 3,308 people have died of COVID-19 in Jakarta. Though more hospital beds can be added by the city administration, there are not enough medical workers to take care of patients. Think about it. If people are already calling for a lockdown, what are some of the reasons you can think of as to why the authorities are not doing it yet? India's drug regulator has given approval for the emergency use of 2 coronavirus vaccines. The first is developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University, and the second by local company Bharat Biotech and a state-run institute. These are the first vaccine approvals for the world's second most populous country, which has recorded the most infections after the United States. The Indian government hopes to inoculate 300 million people within the first 8 months of this year. Bharat Biotech's Covaxin will be administered under stricter conditions as there still is no efficacy data released for it. The government has already held nationwide drills ahead of the vaccinations. Around 96,000 health workers have been trained to administer the shots. The AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine is being made locally by the Serum Institute of India, which has already stockpiled over 50 million doses ahead of any formal deal with the government. India is the world's largest vaccine producer and exporter. Think about it. Would you be willing to be vaccinated with a product that has not completed testing, knowing that there was a fully tested alternative in your country? Although coal is still widely used in China, the nation is still committed to have net zero carbon dioxide emissions before 2060. As energy consumption grows alongside the country's growth in gross domestic product, China will need to increase its renewable energy supply and enhance energy efficiency. However, increasing the renewable energy supply will require comprehensive and systematic preparations in the existing energy system. President Xi Jinping has announced that China's goal is to increase the amount of non-fossil fuels being consumed to around 25%. China's existing power supply system was designed for concentrated power generation, transmission, and supply based on fossil energy. In a system dominated by renewable energy, it will be required to construct a distributed energy network due to the instabilities of renewable energy. There are also calls for reform of the country's land use policies to integrate clean energy development with agriculture, ecological restoration, and poverty reduction, as larger areas of land will be allocated towards renewable energy. Think about it. Is the slow transition to renewable energy due to their instability? Is there a way to combine different renewable energy sources to complement one another? President Trump demanded that Georgia's top election official help him find enough winning votes to overturn President-elect Joe Biden's win in the state. This was according to an hour-long phone recording made public last Sunday. During the call, President Trump flattered and threatened the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, putting forward elaborate conspiracy theories to support his claim that he had won. Raffensperger rejected President Trump bluntly, telling him, "The data that you have is wrong." Legal experts suggested that what the president did may have violated the law, with the Senate Democratic whip urging a criminal investigation. Trump is also backing expected challenges to the result during a joint session of Congress, which is usually ceremonial in nature. Trump has also been admonished by all 10 living former secretaries of defense, including 2 who served under him, sending a reminder that the military had no role to play in the transfer of power. Think about it. Was what President Trump did illegal? Why or why not? This brings us to the end of today's episode of the Scholarlynk News. Please remember to subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified of our new videos. As always, this is the Scholarlynk team saying thank you and goodbye.